Okay, now you will see some pictures of the travels of Wendy and Kaiser throughout the world in the last 40 years, from South America to South Africa, Asia, Bali, United States, everywhere. So we'll show you a few pictures and hopefully we'll put you to sleep watching them. And I'll give you a little bit of commentary because that will bring it to life, I hope, a little bit. Go ahead. Now that's the Iguazu Falls, one of the largest waterfalls in the world. It is the largest waterfall in the world. Actually, there are hundreds of falls. When you go there, and the roar of the falls is actually almost deafening, and you cannot hear another person. So we start with a few pictures of Iguazu Falls. Let me see if I can make it faster. Acha, can you stop for a minute? Let me exit this and I'll show you. Sorry. Can you close up on this thing? Eta hole hobe. Is it better?
Yeah.
Then I can control it, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the falls are fantastic. It's a mist all the time, and there's stereophonic sound of different falls from different sides. One side of the falls is Argentina, and the other side is Brazil. So these are pictures from the Argentinian side looking at the falls on the Brazilian side. We had a videographer with us. We don't have anybody there to give you a sense of proportion, but the tip of my cursor, as you can see probably, would be the size of a human being in front of the fall. It's deafening. I have video footage, but I have not yet managed to clean them up and make it into film. These are some animals in the Amazon area near the falls, not Amazon, near the falls, and they come up to get food from little children and play with little children. Quite friendly. Now this is the top of the fall. It's very calm, and I'm sitting at a restaurant having lunch. The water over here is very, very calm. But there's the fall over there, and it goes sheer 300 or 400 meters. And if you happen to be there, you will not come alive. This is the hotel where we stayed in Brazil, Brazilian side. And this I thought looks like the beading which girls do in their hair. You can see corn cob, that's what it is called, I guess. That's me looking at one of the many falls. Now you get a better idea of how big that fall is. And I'm across the other side of the river. Now you can see there's lots of small falls. In many countries, even one fall like this is advertised for tourism. And there's signs saying, go to this fall, go to this fall. In Brazil, nobody even looks at this. In Brazil, I mean, nobody even looks at these little falls. This is the main river, and there is a hydroelectric project, a couple of them, to harness the energy of the water. Now at this point, they've made it so you can stand over the water and get a sense of the power. Should one fall or try to commit suicide, he will be successful without any question. I think this is a fig tree in the Argentinian side of the fall. We stayed at that hotel for a few days. And way there is Brazil. That's the hotel we stayed in on the Brazilian side. This is the hotel in Argentina. There is a tourist train which goes along the fall for some of the distance. And then you get off the train and you actually walk on this walkway, which is about a mile long, and you stand right over where the fall goes down. It's quite peaceful and calm at this point, and you see this thing, you think, waste of time, why did I come here? nothing to see. But these are the little rivers which take the water into this thing. And you walk along this walkway, stop once in a while, until you come to this point where you can see the fall on your left. This is a fall called Paseo Garganta del Diablo, neck of the devil, or the devil's throat. It's incredible. It's worth going to. As you get closer, now you can hear the roar and thunder of the water. It goes down. Now we have gone to Africa, where we are looking at a alpha male lion, which is the head of his bride. It's an old one, and we all tourists are waiting there from our jeep, taking a picture of him in the evening. And he doesn't mind, he poses. Now this is a pretty little cub. They had a number of little baby lions, and they were playful. And then we drove for about a couple of miles, and we found these 3 magnificent male young lions. And they're just waiting there, nothing to do, just taking it easy. And minding their own business. We moved to another picture. Now this is a cheetah. It just killed a deer, a gazelle, and having a meal. We just happened to come up to it. We would travel around in this kind of vehicle, and we are strictly forbidden from stepping out of the vehicle when we are near the lions, because then they would not. At some points, you could go for a walk, and here's our guide carrying a rifle with a 350 Magnum shot in there, and this is called a warthog. It came to our camp and our bungalow and hung around eating. Sometimes we would take these things. I don't know what that picture is indicating. We are back in Madagascar. Now these are animals which you don't see here. They're way up in the tree. They're called lemurs. These are not well organized at this point. I should delete some of those pictures. But they stay up in the trees, and they're very cute looking animals. And they were looking at the tourists right below them, taking their pictures, and wondering, what are these guys doing? And then he will look at the other tree, measure the distance, and then go flying from one tree to the other, sometimes carrying its baby. Oops, sorry, there's too much raw footage. Look at his expression. Oh, sorry, some fuzzy pictures. Now here there was a bird, and I was trying to locate it. Couldn't find it. Here we are looking at those animals up in the tree. This is Madagascar. It used to be all covered in forests and hills, but timber traders have cut everything off and taken them away. Boring. What happened? Now we are now in Bhutan, and the Bhutanese school children going to school, and they all wear the same dress because that's required. It's one of the many government offices in small districts. These are the government offices. In each office, there is a temple on the right, and everybody has to go to the temple. This is an office. Everything is so beautifully decorated. Not only is the woodwork, but then the painting on the woodwork and the curtains you can see on the door. Everything is art. This is a new temple being rebuilt, and an old temple being rebuilt again with expansion, and they write their prayers. The monks are drawing their prayers written on paper, and then they cover them with some kind of a plastic coating and put it in their prayer wheels. So this was the day of painting these things, and they will put these in the prayer wheels, all these things, which will last for centuries, and that's why they pray. Now, little monklets start early in life, at as young as 4 or 5, and they spend 10, 12 hours a day just studying the Buddhist scripture. Obviously, not everybody is that interested in becoming a Buddhist monk, but they do. Bhutan is a beautiful country. Now, here, this fabric he's wearing, this comes from Bangladesh. Bangladesh imports all the fabric they use for making their national dress, which everybody has to wear. And I believe it is made by a Grameen factory. Oops, sorry. Let's see if I can turn it back. There you go. Sorry. We are back in our house in Bangkok. This is Jashim, our cook. He's an excellent cook and he loves to have visitors. And there must be at least one picture taken with his visitors. Now, this is Naushad's husband. This is Shamshad's husband, Shamshad's sister-in-law, and brother-in-law. He's actually my colleague from United Nations. He is our guide in Bhutan. Back to family pictures again. I have to sort them out. What's a random collection?
Okay. So,
You can cut it out. Now, in the evening, when we are on a safari, we would stop for what is called a sundowner. As the sun goes down, you have a drink or Coke or wine, and we wish each other a happy day and all that sort of stuff. So, and then you go on taking more pictures. Okay, these are wild buffaloes. They are mean. They can kill you within seconds, toss you up in the air, and you won't land alive. Okay. So I hope you have not been bored,
No,
put to sleep by what you saw just now,
I don't know.
and it's for your private
Yeah,
use.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.